What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content daily. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound, so come by and say hello. All right, going to talk a little bit more about the finance side of play-to-earn gaming, which is diesel pools, and specifically liquidity pools for DEC. And actually, liquidity pools all across the board. So if you missed the recent announcement, and I made a video about it recently, there was a change and an update given to the Tribal Dex diesel pools. So this Tribal Dex is connected to Hive Engine. It's all coming from the same backend. So if you have assets on Hive Engine, you're able to go to Tribal Dex and essentially swap there. This is more like a decentralized exchange and a swap. But you can also provide liquidity. Now, before this, the nice thing about Hive Engine is that there was, or at least, the nice thing about Hive Engine is that there are no fees associated with any of these transactions. So if you're transacting on Hive Engine specifically, you still get the no fees, but on Tribal Dex, what they did in order to incentivize more deeper pools, right? So incentivize more people to put their assets, put their just dollars, not dollars, but assets into pools, is to start charging fees, which is a 0.25% fee on every transaction. So for example, if I wanted to change, let's go to swap.hive to SPS, and let's say I wanted to do like 100 Hive, you can see down here, there is now, well, there's a price impact, and this is what they were trying to reduce, but more importantly, there is a liquidity provider fee. So for each trade, a 0.25% fee is paid, and that goes 100% to liquidity providers. So I have been playing around with this more. You can see I've got a couple of different pools here, but before we jump into my pools specifically, I wanted to talk about the benefits of doing this if you hold Splinterlands assets. Now, this of course applies to any of the other games or assets on Hive Engine because everything is subject to this 0.25% fee, which is being paid out. So if I just go here to pools, you can see that the highest in terms of volume is swap.hive and DEC. After that is swap.hive and SPS, and third on the list is DEC and SPS. So all of these top three include DEC or SPS or Splinterlands tokens. Now, if you look here, again, this is sorted by volume, and this has to be like all-time volume because there's no way that we're doing $223 million in volume every single day. I think Hive Engine was showing something like 64K or something like that. So there's no way that this is 24-hour volume. And I'm trying to figure out what time interval this could be. Although since there's no time interval listed here, my assumption, and again, take this with a grain of salt, is that this is all-time volumes because 223 million seems very high. So that being said, what you're getting right now from swap.hive, not swap.hive, but like from DEC specifically, if you're doing DEC pools, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up DEC here, is that you get that 0.25% on top of the double points for airdrop. So if you're holding DEC as it is, potentially pairing it with something else will now get you an additional 0.25% in terms of overall fees. On top of that, some of these, if it has LP rewards here, you will get additional rewards. Now, the rewards that I've been getting here are somewhat insignificant. Like, it's nice. It's a couple of like pennies here and there, but it's nothing too crazy. It's just a nice little added thing, and you're going to receive it in all these like random tokens, which usually I swap out for Hive or for SPS specifically. And then, like I said, just trying to stack my SPS. So you have a lot of options here if you want to hold DEC and some other assets. So there's swap.hive, there's SPS, B, swap.eth, for example. That might be an interesting one. Pizza, vouchers, which I want to see if there'll be a little bit more depth to this now that vouchers are going to be ongoing. And then I don't know what SUFB is, but those are your options for DEC specifically. Now you get that third benefit for DEC. You do have options with SPS as well, and you can see there's a bunch of different options here. There's swap.btc for SPS, vouchers, swap.bnb. So there's a lot of options here. Not all of them have that third cherry on top, which is the LP rewards, but some of them do. So, you can kind of pick and choose. Although if you're doing SPS, you're kind of not getting the benefit of staking SPS in order to get vouchers, as well as you are not getting the benefit of Like, for example, if you're holding SPS versus DEC, you're not getting the DEC airdrop. But again, there's no right answer here. I've given you my opinion why I choose to hold SPS most of the time. Although I am starting to hold a little bit more DEC now, especially for these pools, just because there is an added benefit. So let me share this with you. I've started just kind of dabbling with a bunch of different pools. For the longest time, I only had the top pool here, Swap.Hive and DEC. Now, there's been a change in prices overall, so the market has kind of been pumping, so that's added a little bit to it. But since the start of this, since this implemented, I have gained in terms of DEC roughly, so what is it, January 25th, so coming up on maybe 10 days or 11 days, so just under 2 weeks, I have grown. It was probably closer to 41 or 42,000 DEC that I had in this pool, which is now at 48,000. So again, there's been market fluctuations in price, and that's all going to kind of affect this. So, and I'll get into impermanent loss in a minute here, but it's been nice to see this number go up because it's kind of been just at a low range for a very long time. Now, the cool thing about that is it's actually doubled because for every amount that I'm increasing on the DEC side, I hold the equivalent Swap.Hive. So both of them have roughly been going up over the past couple of days. It's been nice to watch and just kind of keep track of. I wish there was like a log, but I guess I'm just going to log it. I'm just going to log it manually for now. And as I was saying, on top of that, on a daily basis, I'm getting 0.26B and however much, 1,000 NFTM. Now, look at this. This combined equals 2 pennies, 2 US dollar pennies per day, right? So it's not much. I'm not doing it for these rewards. These are the extra like LP rewards on top. I am doing this. Well, I initially did it because I just wanted to help provide liquidity. This was before there were any fees charged that were paid to liquidity providers. But now that there are fees being paid on top of the airdrop and the rewards, I am not necessarily adding more, but I'm liking that I'm seeing this growing, and over time, I don't know what I'll do with it because more so it's one of those things where I kind of forgot that I had it. I just put it there back in September or whenever I first started playing or started messing around with tribal decks, and just put it in to kind of help be part of the community and provide liquidity to it. There were no fees at the time, and yes, I could have chosen to hold it all in DEC and essentially get the same amount of airdrop points, but putting in there actually put me at a little bit of a risk because of impermanent loss. So with us actually, not just me, but with me and everybody now getting a little bit of the fees, it's been a nice thing to just kind of see it grow as I go along. Now, I don't have an APR for you. I don't know how much, in terms of how sustainable this will be moving forward or what you can expect in terms of returns. I'm just trying to tell you where I was at the beginning of this and where I am now, and that I'm going to continue to keep it in the pool for the time being. Again, just one of those like passive income things, just let it continue to grow. It'll provide liquidity, and I might start messing around with some other ones, for example, SPS and SPT. SPT is the Splinter Talk token, and then today I just put a little bit into the DEC SPS, but I don't even know if I put like 32 DEC. So again, these are just small amounts that I'm kind of playing with. So you can go in and just play with any kind of amount that you want. There's no fees for this that you pay. In fact, you get paid on the fees. And so it's been a nice little thing here. So I just wanted to let you guys know this. If the last time I recorded anything about liquidity pools was probably a while back in terms of like in terms of actually looking at tribal decks. The thing that I will say, and again, I made a video about this a while back, so I don't want to rehash it here, but there is a risk here. It's called impermanent loss. And you can look up a previous video of mine, or you don't have to look up my video, just go and Google it. There should be good explainers online that kind of go into this in more detail. And that is, if you expect the prices of certain tokens to go the opposite way in value, then you might have loss. Again, it's impermanent, so you just have to wait until things stabilize, but you could lose a significant amount of value or have it kind of locked up if you don't want to withdraw it at a loss. So at the time when I was putting this in, DEC was a lot higher. Excuse me, DEC was a lot higher than it was. And the reason that I didn't put DEC and SPS together at that time was because I expected the price of SPS to go up and I expected the price of DEC to go down back to its peg. This is close. This is when DEC was near a penny. I apologize, guys. I need to get some water. So let me go ahead and wrap this up. Swap.hive DEC, that's where I'm putting, most of it in now. I would say that because DEC is much closer to its peg, the risk for me is much, much less. And if you watched the last video that I put out, I am not necessarily bullish on DEC, but I am very curious and I don't mind holding it now for the airdrop points and for potentially what kind of utility they can provide to it in the future. Although, keep in mind, nothing is confirmed yet, so there's always room for it to be amazing. There's always room for it to be a letdown, right? So don't take this as financial advice. None of this is financial advice. I'm just trying to share with you what I am doing, and hopefully that can be of benefit to you. All right, that is all I have for you guys in this video. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, best of luck. This is a cool little thing. It's nice to see this number go up. So the fees are working, and this is just my follow-up to that video. So have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. I'm going to go get some water now. Have an amazing rest of your day.